biggest money laundering scandal in American history. And the other side of the aisle could care less. They have no concern about where this money went, to what entities it went, to what governments, to what people or groups. Nothing. All they want to talk about is Elon Musk incessantly.
I just took a rudimentary count of the Dems' testimony, or rather comments today, and I've got 27 mentions of Elon Musk and 3 mentions of waste.
We as a country are $36 trillion in debt. That is such a stunning amount of money. This is not a Democrat problem. This is not a Republican problem. This is an American problem.
That's House Republicans focusing on the war on waste as the first DOJ subcommittee hearing yesterday was underway. Democrats, meanwhile, going on offense by taking aim at Elon Musk. Watch.
The Trump-Musk administration want to do is they want to look into your kids' lunch money. They want to take that money and give it out in billionaire tax cuts. It's about helping Elon Musk and Donald Trump be as efficient as possible in robbing our government.
Chairwoman Green literally showed a pic in our oversight congressional hearing, so I thought I'd bring one as well. Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. He's also the world's richest man.
Robert Garcia embarrassed himself. DOJ subcommittee chairwoman Marjorie Taylor Greene says she's already planning on hearings to examine USAID and media outlets NPR and PBS. Joining me now is Texas Congressman Brandon Gill. He's a member of the House DOJ subcommittee. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. You were in that room yesterday. Tell us what struck you most. How was the meeting? What did you learn?
Well, first of all, Maria, thanks for having me on. I can tell you that there's a big difference between Democrats and Republicans here, as Democrats came to the hearing with hysterics and Republicans came to the hearing with receipts. This hearing yesterday was about $2.7 trillion in improper payments from our federal government from agencies like Medicare and Medicaid. $2.7 trillion. This could be the biggest money laundering scheme in American history, and you would think that figuring out where this money is going would be a bipartisan effort. But what we saw yesterday was that Democrats were more interested in screaming calumny about Elon Musk than they were about anything related to fiscal responsibility or accountability. So we're going to continue our efforts regardless of what Democrats do, because we've got a lot of work to do here. And this is extremely popular with the American people.
I mean, did you get any answers or any accountability from people like Nancy Pelosi, Senator Chuck Schumer? I mean, they've been in charge for so many years. How is it possible that they're not saying a peep about all of this money? What do they have to say for themselves about all of this wasteful spending?
Well, that's precisely the question. Listen, a lot of this money, as we're finding out and have been finding out for the past several weeks, is going towards left-wing activism. We found that so much of the left's institutional and political ecosystem is funded by taxpayers. Look at NPR and PBS, $500 million a year to promote left-wing propaganda and values that Americans across the country find repugnant. We've had millions of our taxpayer dollars going to left-wing NGOs that are funding the invasion of our southern border. We've seen dollars going towards transgender activism all over the globe, DEI projects in Asia. I mean, these are things that the left supports because it upholds their political movement, and I think that has something to do with the fact that they don't seem to be very interested in uncovering all of the details here.
It's all about holding on to their grip on power. All of these things that we've got, and we've got the list here in front of me. It's incredible that they are supporting all of their own slush fund ideas so that they can keep their grip on power more than ever. Now we know that the American people have just exposed all of this, and the DOJ has exposed all of this. It's really remarkable. We're watching all of this money wasted, and we'd like to know, when all is said and done, what kind of numbers we're talking about. But let me move on to get your take on what the DOJ just did. Department of Justice filed a lawsuit against New York Governor Kathy Hochul and State AG Letitia James for failing to comply with federal immigration law. Here's AG Pam Bondi yesterday.
New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. They're giving a green light to any illegal alien in New York where law enforcement officers cannot check their identity if they pull them over. If you are a state not complying with federal law, you're next. Get ready.
The Department of Homeland Security also clawing back the $59 million in FEMA money sent to New York City to house illegal migrants. Secretary Kristi Noem wrote this on X yesterday. FEMA was funding the Roosevelt Hotel that serves as a Tren de Aragua base of operations and was used to house Laken Riley's killer. Mark my words, there will not be a single penny spent that goes against the interest and safety of the American people. Congressman, what can you tell us about this?
Well, this is another example of promises made and promises kept from the White House. What President Trump and his administration is saying is simply that sanctuary cities and states can no longer, as a matter of policy, endanger the lives of American citizens by harboring illegal aliens, many of them who are criminals. President Trump is serious about border security. That was something that he focused on both in 2015 and in this past election cycle. This is a core part of the MAGA movement, and it's something that House Republicans are serious about as well. We are taking our country back. We are no longer allowing American citizens to be murdered and raped and pillaged by illegal aliens that Democrats are bringing into our country. It is refreshing to see a president come in and follow through with promises that he made on the campaign trail as rapidly as President Trump has.
Yeah.
Border security is something every American wants, and that's something we're going to follow through with.
Well, I want to get your take on where you are on these reconciliation plans. You're on the Budget Committee, the House Budget Committee unveiling one sweeping reconciliation bill ahead of a markup today. The draft is calling for a minimum of $1.5 trillion in cuts, spending cuts over a decade, and a maximum of $4.5 trillion in tax cuts. It would also increase the federal debt limit by $4 trillion, while including $300 billion in new border and defense spending. Over in the Senate, the Budget Committee there advanced a separate two-track reconciliation plan yesterday. Congressman, tell us where this is going, and is it realistic in terms of the offsets that you've all come up with? Where are the offsets in order to come up with offsets to all of the spending that you're hoping for?
Well, first of all, I think it is realistic. We've got a budget markup today. Of course, the Senate has their project that they're working on as well. I was in the Speaker's office late last night going through some of the details here that we're going to be working on today. These spending rationalizations are entirely realistic. This comes from pulling back on Green New Deal subsidies, for instance, and work requirements for welfare, things that Americans across the political spectrum support. So I think we are going to be able to get this done. House Republicans and Senate Republicans are united in passing the Trump agenda. We're going to do it.
Yes. Congressman, we'll be watching your work. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Brandon Gill here. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
When you can't watch,